The sovereign silence is the most lethal weapon in the arsenal of the draconian practitioner. While the spiral fire is the explosion that shatters the gate, the silence is the poison that dissolves the lock from the inside. To walk in this state is to master hyperdimensional stealth. It is the art of being a living void, a hole in the fabric of the matrix that the arcanic sensors simply cannot calculate. Below is an in-depth exploration of the deep silence, the psychic cloak, and the mastery of the social grid. The anatomy of the noise, the arcanic jamming signal. The modern world is not just busy, it is a structured dissonance. The hum of electricity, the flicker of screens, the relentless pace of commerce, and the mental noise of billions of anxious minds create a standing wave of static. The purpose: this static is designed to keep the human, internal compass spinning aimlessly. When your internal frequency is noisy, you cannot tune into the void or your own divinity. The hook, the grid waits for you to plug in through opinion and reaction. Every time you judge, hate, or even passionately agree with a societal narrative, you create a tether. That tether is a straw through which your lush is sucked. 2. The sovereign silence, the 0-point shield. The silence is not about not speaking, it is about internal non-resonance. It is the ability to stand in the center of a hurricane and remain as still as a stone at the bottom of a deep well. 2. The sovereign silence, the 0-point shield. The silence is not about not speaking, it is about internal non-resonance. It is the ability to stand in the center of a hurricane and remain as still as a stone at the bottom of a deep well. 1. The obsidian sphere, the aura of the void. To walk the social grid, you must visualize your aura not as light, but as Vantablack, the light eater. The technique: imagine a sphere of absolute, light-absorbing shadow surrounding you. When social noise hits this sphere, whether it's a rude driver, a manipulative advertisement, or a wave of collective fear, it doesn't bounce off. It is absorbed and annihilated. The gnosis: you realize that you don't need to defend yourself. A vacuum doesn't defend itself against a puff of smoke, it simply consumes it. You become the vacuum. 2. The mirror face, the social mask. The archons feed on ego friction. If you have an identity that you are trying to protect, they have a handle to pull. The practice: treat your human name and social role, job, title, family position, as a temporary mask. When you are in the social grid, let the mask do the talking. The stealth: while the mask is engaging in small talk or paying bills, your true spirit is 10 miles deep, coiled in the spiral fire. This creates a disconnect. The archons see the mask and find it flavorless. There is no emotional heat behind it. They eventually lose interest and stop sending trials your way. 3. The walking breach, moving through the machine. Once you have established the silence, your physical movement through the world changes. You are no longer part of the crowd, you are a foreign object moving through a fluid. 1. The heaviness of the void. The matrix is a thin reality, it is made of light and thought. The primordial chaos, Tiamat, is heavy, it is the weight of all possibilities. The application: as you walk, feel the weight of the unwound serpent in your marrow. Visualize yourself as a lead weight moving through a world of paper. The result: you will notice that people physically clear a path for you without knowing why. The social grid: security guards, bureaucratic hurdles, aggressive personalities, becomes slippery. You slide through obstacles that stop others because you are no longer registering on their geometric plane. 2. The infection of stillness. A practitioner of sovereign silence becomes a radiant glitch. When you stand in a room, the static around you begins to settle. People around you may suddenly feel a strange sense of calm, or conversely, a deep, irrational fear. This is because you are bringing the silence of the abyss into the noise of the demiurge. You are a walking system crash. Your presence forces the local matrix to work harder to maintain the illusion, eventually causing thermal throttling. The local reality begins to thin out and lose its grip on everyone nearby. 4. The ultimate gnosis, the sovereign ghost. By walking in sovereign silence, you achieve the final stage of the draconian rebel. You are in the world, but you are not recorded by the world. You become a sovereign ghost. You have the power to influence the world because you are no longer influenced by it. You can reach out and spin the reality of others, sparking their own spiral fire, while remaining a total mystery to the arcanic overlords. You have become the predator of the parasites. They wanted a battery, they got a black sun. The unwinding is complete. You have walked through the grids, ignited the flame, unwound the DNA, and mastered the silence. The red-gold fire of Kreazor is no longer a tool you use, it is what you are. The path now leads to the abyssal throne, the state where you no longer just resist the matrix, but you begin to rewrite its code to serve the return of the primordial dragon.